Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to discuss how to improve your aim. Now this is one of the tougher subjects to cover because no matter what you do, proficiency in aiming comes entirely from practice. In other words, watching this video is not going to make you a PvP god overnight. But if you're willing to put in the time and effort, I'm about to give you 5 tips that will boost you toward getting that top tier aim. Tip number 1 is to get to the point where when you aim down your sights, your reticle is already centered at or near your opponent's head because you don't want to be making these massive adjustments to your aim when you're in a gunfight. I call this pre-aiming. To get good at this, you first need to understand where your crosshairs are when you're not aiming down sights. Now, of course, this does come with practice because unlike a lot of shooters out there, Destiny places your reticle slightly below the center of your screen. But one thing that does help is this small arrow. It shows up whenever you sprint, and it's placed exactly where your reticle is when you aim your gun. Whenever I'm making my way around the map, I like to make sure that this arrow is always at head level so that when I aim my gun at someone, I only have to make short horizontal sweeps in my aim instead of these big vertical adjustments. Of course, then you also want to get an idea of how high a Guardian's head is. For those of you that might not want to hop into the heat of the Crucible to get a feel for this, try loading into your favorite patrol destination and shoot at fallen Vandals. Vandals are about the same height as your typical Guardian, so they make excellent practice dummies. Tip number 2 is to analyze your shooting patterns. If you're really struggling with aim in Destiny, it's really helpful to just pick a point on the wall and practice shooting at it. The main point of this is to see exactly where your shots are grouping because many people frequently overshoot or undershoot their target. There are a couple drills that I like to do when doing this. One is to simply slide in from different angles while shooting. Another is to strafe while shooting, and sometimes I'll also try shooting from the air. Now, if you're a more advanced player, your shot patterns are also bound to be much more complex, and analyzing them is a much tougher task than just shooting at a wall. One thing that I often do is simply record my own gameplay and then watch it over, sometimes in slow motion, to observe how I move and how I aim so that I might improve in the future. Tip number 3 is to practice with low aim assist. Practicing with low aim assist is one of the best ways to refine your aim because it forces you to be much more precise. Then, when you re-equip your high aim assist weapon and slap on whatever targeting mods you're using, you will be much more accurate, and especially if you have an enhanced targeting mod of some sort as well, you'll be able to feel it too. What's hard about this is actually finding weapons with low aim assist, because you can't find aim assist values in-game, but there are a couple third-party options that can help. I personally use a web app called Destiny Item Manager, which not only allows you to manage your inventory, but also gives you a bunch of hidden stats on your weapons, like aim assist. You can also use the search bar to type in weapon filters. For instance, if I want to find hand cannons with less than 60 aim assist, I can type in stat:"aim assist less than symbol 60, and it'll highlight every hand cannon that I own that has less than 60 aim assist. I also use the Destiny database website, which allows me to look at all the weapons Destiny has, including the ones that I have in my collections or don't currently own. I linked both of these tools in the description if you want to check these out. Tip number 4 is to get really good at aiming in the air. Now, you might be one of those Guardians that really likes to keep your boots on the ground at all times. That's okay for the most part, but sometimes you're going to need to embrace your inner hunter and jump around a bit more, like when you're getting aped by someone with a shotgun or being spammed with shots from a mountaintop grenade launcher. For those times that you're in the air, you're going to want to feel confident in your ability to accurately shoot your opponent. Now, shooting someone from the air is a bit of an art form. You need to synchronize your trigger finger and thumbsticks with your jump button all at one time without compromising your aim or your ability to survive. For newer players, this can get super overwhelming. One of the easiest ways to practice shooting in the air is on your Warlock because Warlocks have the Attunement of Sky skill tree on the Dawnblade subclass. This skill tree allows you to aim in the air without your jump being cancelled. You can also equip the increased control jump ability so that you can move horizontally in the air super easily. All the increased aerial mobility that this class gives allows you to focus a little bit less on managing your movement and more on actually hitting your opponent. Once you get good with these abilities, switch back to your normal subclass and practice there. The 5th and final tip I have for you today is to use your movement to aim. A lot of players, especially new ones, often get so hyper-focused on moving their aiming stick that they forget they have an entirely separate method of moving their reticle. For most of you console players, your left joystick is one of the best tools you have at making super fine adjustments to your aim. Take for instance this clip. After aiming in, I find that my reticle is just slightly off target. Now, I could use my right stick to flick my reticle onto this guy, and that could work, but it also runs the risk that I might overcorrect. Using my left stick to aim is far less risky in this case, and that's what I decide to do. Of course, normally in the heat of battle, you won't be able to make such simple adjustments. Almost all gunfights consist of a combination of left stick and right stick movement, but being able to apply these concepts in the right ways is a very valuable tool, and that will all come with practice. Well guys, that's it for today. Hopefully you found some of these tips to be helpful. These definitely won't turn you into a Crucible champion overnight, but they'll definitely make you better in the long term. Just keep at it, and you'll get there. As always, stay safe, Guardians, and I'll see you in the Crucible.